Hey, coach.
Are we live? Are we
I think
streaming? What are
so.
we doing here? What's up? How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm hanging in here. We were chatting earlier. I hate getting in the pool, and every time I do, my eyes go as red as this coffee cup,
Oh
and
my
and
God.
it's a it's a disaster. But I'm
So
doing better.
many, yeah, so many reasons why you shouldn't do triathlons or whatever the hell you're doing.
It's a good active recovery
I know,
from
right?
running.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk to you today about your newsletter this week was all about like taking responsibility when you fall off the wagon. When I fall off the wagon, I'm like go into this like downward spiral and this like depression cocktail where I'm like, oh, I'll just like start next year, start, whatever. But I mean, we all fall off the wagon, right? Like I'm sure you even
100%.
do it like when you are doing your triathlons.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely. I fell off this week.
Bill. So, like, what do you mean by taking responsibility? Like, expand a little bit more on it.
Yeah, the thing is that we all we all have great intentions, and no matter how disciplined and consistent we are in whatever equity, we're human. We're going to drop the ball, and I think as leaders, wanting to cultivate a culture of accountability, and it's real hard to lead and coach another human being until you can lead and coach yourself first.
Bill.
And 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 so and so are we modeling the behavior that we want to instill in the people that we're leading and the people around us? And so when we do fall off the wagon, when we do show up late, when we miss that meeting, when we miss that workout, right? When we dive into things that we shouldn't dive into, and it's
You mean
hey, we catch
squirrel? Like,
we
whoops, whoops.
squirrel, we
Yeah.
squirrel, we squirrel in our diet, squirrel in our fitness, squirrel in any
Uh-oh.
one. We need to make sure we have an awareness of it,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And then we have to acknowledge, okay, that's not who I am. That's not in alignment to my values. That is, just take ownership, right?
Mhm.
Take accountability for those actions. And as a leader, Jen, I don't want to hear your excuses. I
They
just want
don't
to know
matter.
it doesn't matter. I just want to know what you want to do about it moving forward. Okay. And so that has to start with us.
It
Like
kind of
we can't
reminds
create.
me, like, as you're talking, it's reminding me of two things. One, this is like also parenting advice, I feel like, and like relationship advice, but it's also almost like apologize in a way that like cleans it up and moves it forward. Like if me falling off as a leader, whoever it affected, being like, I can see how this negatively impacted you and I'm still human, so I don't want to negatively impact you. Here's how I believe we can clean it up. Can we move forward? Does that work for you? Blah blah blah, like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing that we have to remind ourselves is not to hang on and keep beating ourselves up.
Yeah.
And we have to look, right. So this goes back to the gap and the gain concept. And if you're constantly beating yourself up, and it's like, hey Jenny, hey, we did great, but hey,
Right.
hey, but right. and
Right.
and we
Right.
and we always go back into the negative. Then that keeps us in that spiral to where happiness is not even possible.
Yeah.
So what the gain concept is, you have to measure your progress and how far you've really come. And
Mhm.
so I during my strategic coach session earlier this week, we had to do an exercise that went back in time as far as we could go with our businesses,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, and reflect on where we started, where it went, how far it's come, and where you had the leaps. And so it's just a great reminder that we've all come so far, right?
Yeah.
And so that if we do fall off, we have to say we can't hang on to that.
No.
And so we have to own it, and then we have to stay mindful of really the progress that we're making, but also the direction and knowing where we want to go. and
Yeah.
and so that's like, hey, I fell off today, but I'm recommitting back to this. This is still a commitment. This is still
Right.
important to me.
Right.
And so where a lot of people, when they fall off, it's that they're not clear on the destination, or they're really not committed to whatever it is that they said they were going to do. So you look at like Ironman, for example, is that I know I have a clear deadline. I have an event.
Right.
And so I have a commitment to work through the training to build my body to where, one, as my coach says, that I will finish, and two, I won't die.
Don't die, John.
but if I missed that workout yesterday, am I still committed to that event? Am I still committed to that goal? And if I am, then I know, okay, well, I am still committed to it. Then let's get back into the training, right? Let's get back in the pool today. Let's get back on the bike tomorrow.
I do think it's so helpful to be like, okay, this is like, but out of curiosity, like what prompted me to fall off of my goal? Like if my goal is to lead generate certain time, or my goal is, to connect with and network with other agents, like what caused me to fall off of that goal? Was there a trigger? What happened? And using that to like also be like you said, am I committed to it? Am I asking, is what I'm asking realistic, like of myself to do, or making adjustments if we have to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when we fall off, it's because that's not really our goal.
It's not like dialed in enough.
Well, maybe it's not dialed in enough, but maybe it's something that it's not really core to something that we want to pursue.
It's like maybe somebody else said you should be doing that.
Exactly. Right. And so environment and circumstance drives our thinking. So maybe we're thinking, or we believe that we should do something, but yet that's not our goal. Right. Hey, Ken, you should get into real estate. Well, if that's not your goal, then you're not going to be committed to the process.
It's definitely my goal to stay in real estate. I'm just kidding. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So a lot of the things, and that's where you have to check, right? It's like, so a couple things that jumps out when you fall off, and especially with anything. One, you have to ask yourself, hey, is that my goal? And is that still my goal?
Right.
Or am I doing it for somebody else?
Right.
Or am I doing it for myself?
Right.
The other thing is sometimes we fall off and we say, okay, did I just fall off, or am I procrastinating? And the thing about procrastination is a good thing, because procrastination can give us some insight into things that maybe we shouldn't be doing or we don't want to do, but we're still in pursuit of the goal. So for example, I'm not going to cold call anybody. I'm not going to pick up a phone. I'm not you. I'm not going to call expireds. I'm not going to call for sub owners. So I will procrastinate on that. But what that gives me insight into is I need to go make a hire to do that for me. I need to go get an ISA that's going to make those calls. So sometimes when you're not doing those things, you got to, it could be an excuse, but it could also be a procrastination, because that's a weakness of yours that you don't need to make it a strength.
Yeah.
You need to go find somebody to complement your weakness.
Right.
So now you can play your game, what you're good at. And now you go find somebody that's good at that, and you complement each other, and you can move so much faster.
Right. No, that makes sense. I think too, like those ideas and those like areas of problem solving and levels of awareness, and also being able to look back and see how far you've come. I mean, that is like one of the main reasons to have a coach. A lot of people think it's like accountability, and it absolutely is, but it's also this stuff too, because it's like, if I could get to where I wanted to go, I would be there already, but I cannot get there on my own. And that's why I have you. Hey.
Yeah. We all have coaches, right? And in different equities.
At least one. Yeah.
I've got a triathlete coach. I've got a coach that's helping me with the shit in my head. I've got coaching programs that I'm a part of. I'm part of two coaching programs, strategic coach. And I'm in kind of tied in with Roland Frazier and the whole scalable digital marketing world. So,
nice.
I've got my commitments. That what I would say is, where are you trying to improve, and how can you work with somebody that's helping you collapse time? Robert Greene put this, the best that I've ever heard it, is that if you believe Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule, right? It takes 10,000 hours to master anything.
Yeah.
He said the only exception to that is that a coach can help you collapse time. So something that might take you 10,000 hours, a coach can get you there in 8.
Right.
Or if it's going to take you 12,000 hours, a coach can maybe get you there in 9.
Yeah.
And that's where coaching can help collapse time. Coaching, and what I always tell people when you're looking for a really good coach, you're looking for a couple of things. One, coaches help us keep the train on the tracks,
Yeah.
because that shit gets wobbly. And
Yeah.
especially as you grow,
Yeah.
it starts to teeter. And a coach can help you keep things on the rails.
Yeah.
But a coach also has resources. Coach has tools
Yes.
that can provide to you, and that goes back to helping collapse time.
Yeah.
And then the big thing is, we all have blind spots, and what we
Yeah.
reveal, we can heal. And a coach is really good at not only giving us the concepts and the tools we need, but is also really good at putting the mirror in front of our face and helping
Exactly.
us see the things that we're not
Well,
seeing.
and I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people, if they're nervous about getting a coach, that could be one of the things that they're nervous about. Like, oh shit, what is it? What are they going to say? But here's the thing, like, you already know it, subconsciously, right? But it's like, okay, what you know is true. And like, let's now deal with it, I guess. Yeah. No, I love it. So if people are interested, you've got the coach code coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, you can't get into my calendar right now. I'm not taking on any more, one-on-one clients. I'm that capacity, but I have, every day somebody's reaching out wanting to, how we can work together. So we've got a new group coaching program that's going to roll out at the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We're dropping a new book, and we're launching a new podcast, and it's all around the coach code brand, coach code concept, which is, there's a code and a sequence that can unlock anything in our life.
Yeah.
And it's all about right things, right order. And so being able to get people into an environment, into a circumstance that's going to change their thinking and challenge them to think bigger, but also think about things in the right order, so they feel empowered to act in a way that's going to give them the results that they're after. Right.
Yeah.
There's a code and a sequence to everything. And once you have that code, you're good. Potential is limitless. Yeah.
Well, like you said, what did you say? Your surroundings and your what?
Yeah, your environment and your circumstance drives everything.
It really does. Like, and that's what your mom always said, right? Like, who you surround yourself with is like, it's very important who you surround yourself with. And you're always critical. Like, no. But it absolutely is.
It's absolutely critical. It's everything. Environment is stronger than willpower. And you'll succumb to the influence of those around you, or you'll be risen up, right? I believe that we need people in our lives that tell us what we need to hear, but we also need people in our lives that give us the information to know that we're more capable than what we believe we are. So getting into an environment, and it's being able to pour into as many as we can. We're on a mission to impact as many, real estate professionals' lives over the next, few years as possible. And Coach Code's going to give us that vehicle to be able to do that.
I'm excited for it. So they go to coachcode.com and they can just sign up. No problem.
Yeah, they can go there and get on the list.
Okay.
We'll be rolling stuff out, going into the new year, and just get on the list. Get ready.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Coach. I'll see you later.
We'll see you.
Bye. Bye.